Well, ladies and gentlemen, when the going get tough, the tough hurt their back and still record a video. That's my state of affairs. I won't say too much more because I got some work to do and the show must go on. I was going to try a really insane jerry rig setup where I elevate everything and try to play with while standing because I was more comfortable, but unfortunately my arms are not quite long enough. And yeah, so here we are. At the very least, we don't have that many missions to go. Obviously, I didn't unlock the 6th map, but I have literal documentation that I have played up until and including the 5th map. So we're just going to quickly Ophelia our way there. Or I guess we can do... There is no cow level. You can see on the mini-map all of those zerglings. Hey, since I'm here anyway, the zerglings actually have a purpose. So let's pop back into that map because I want you to see something before we jump into the next mission. This is credit all goes to Dark Metzen. He's a real dark guy. He's really shown us the way.
Yes, sir?
So we have here the ability to start building stuff, right? Or so you think.
I can't build it.
Oh, I can't build there.
I can't build it.
Something is in the way, guys. Gee, I wonder what's in the way. Yeah, that's why they have all of those units. They've borrowed all those units so you don't try to build anything. Or, you know, God forbid, land anywhere. And that's why they're there. Imagine having that as your insane hacky workaround, right? When I saw those zerglings, I knew they must have been there because there was some insane issue, some insane workaround that they wanted to get done, like raising the damage value of the Hyperion for the sole purpose of fucking off and having him one-shot some wraiths. Not that it even makes sense because those wraiths weren't damaged. So like it's just inconsistency, right? Now in this case, the gimmick is that they wanted to make sure that the player didn't spend money and maybe all of their workers or whatever building stuff, right? This is the same kind of fan campaign nonsense you would see from people who would make the map and then just arbitrarily remove rules because they were worried about the player accidentally screwing themselves over in one capacity or another. Or maybe in the, you know, there's the opposite case where maybe they grief the situation. You know, there is a speedrun strat in that mission that involves getting mines and with your first couple of minerals, vulture or two, and planting mines where the ghosts are going to path through your base. This is something that UED Commander Brent mentioned to me. And that's something that I didn't obviously even bother trying to do, nor am I really that interested in showcasing it. But it's really absolutely insane that they decided that they just want you to make sure that you don't spend your money in a stupid way because their cutscene might destroy it. I don't know why they were so averse to just having short opening cutscenes. Again, emphasis on short, or at least compelling. Like if you're going to make them on the longer side, you got to make sure that there's content for people to enjoy during that long cutscene. You know, this is a criticism of many longer-winded, usually Asian titles, is that a lot of the times they just make you sit there and do nothing. It's like a lot of carnival stuff. But there's content out there where, or at least I would argue that the potential for such content exists, where you have a scenario where you're watching something unfold and it's engaging, just like a movie in that sense. And then, you know, you can intersperse that in whatever length is appropriate for the scale and for the quality of the content. And as long as the player isn't watching it like 100 times or whatever, because of course they can skip it on repeat playthroughs, I don't see any reason why that shouldn't be a feature that you can use, something you can leverage, right? And that is way more reasonable than placing a bunch of zerglings and then removing them after the cutscene. Like, why? What a ridiculous notion. And if you were going to implement a system that turned unbuildable terrain flags on at a location, at least that would be useful for modders or whatever. That should really be a system anyway. You should be able to paint buildability and pathing and all this stuff like in Starcraft 2, albeit with presumably less issues with performance. But I don't see any reason why that shouldn't be something that you can do. And clearly they would have benefited from it in this case. But just like everything else where they have like disruption webs being cast by Corsairs in a cutscene, they don't bother actually giving anybody, even themselves, more precise control over stuff. They do the bare minimum for producing the worst quality product, really. But, you know, whatever the quality of it is, you know, regardless of how you feel about that, that's where we are. So that's just some embarrassment and really underscores the general sense of how fucked up everything here is. I did have some more commentary to put when I was rewatching some of the playthrough of the earlier missions. Most notably, the briefings tend to be really shitty, but I guess I'll have to save those for like a retrospective of the entire Terran campaign, which will probably come at the beginning of the next video. So just earmarking that for now, you know, watch this space or whatever they say. Let's move on to Emperor's Flight. UED flagship Alexander, en route to the planet Ire.
Captain, we have tracked the fugitives Minsk and Raynor to the devastated Protoss homeworld of Ire. Apparently, these two have taken shelter within a fortified Protoss encampment that lies at the base of a fully functional warp gate.
I don't understand this. Why would the Protoss harbor these men?
I have no idea, Gerard. But the Protoss aren't our only problem. Our sensors have identified multiple Zerg broods surrounding the Protoss base. Presently, the broods seem to be passive, but there's no telling what might set them off. Should the broods attack, we'd be hard-pressed to hold them at bay.
I see. It is a risk we'll need to take. Minsk represents a considerable threat to our agenda and must be eliminated. Captain, you will focus your attack against the Rebel Command Center in the middle of the Protoss encampment. That must be where Minsk and Raynor are hiding. We will deploy our own Valkyrie frigates and tighten up our air defenses. Vice Admiral Stukov and Lieutenant Duran will provide cover for your forces and ensure that no external threats interfere with your mission.
So many of the lines from De Gaulle beg further explanation. Why is Minsk currently a considerable threat to the UED's agenda? And why do they feel the need to tighten up their air defenses, of all things? I mean, Valkyries are no good against capital ships. They're really only useful against mutalisks. So, why? Why? Why any of that? Now, I also understand that the opening dialogue of De Gaulle being confused about the Protoss's intentions is really, like, I guess it does fit, because the UED don't really understand the relations here, assuming they really were completely mongoloidic in their attempts at actually handling themselves, right? Because they, according to the text prologue, the ongoings of the Terrans was closely monitored. Maybe they missed Raynor or something. But again, we have to do work for the writers to patch up their insane patchwork story. So nothing new there, I guess. But okay, De Gaulle and the UED don't really have intel on Raynor. They don't understand why the Protoss are harboring Minsk. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. The problem here is we are already confused about that as players, because all Raynor says is that there's a mutual acquaintance who wants Minsk alive. And we don't get any more information than that until the Zerg campaign, I'm pretty sure. So at that point, it's very confusing anyway. We're already kind of confused about what that is. We don't need another character to voice that confusion. That is a dialogue line basically without purpose. I guess you could argue the purpose is reaffirming that plot point. But we're already, like I said, we're already confused. We already don't know what's going on. It's already a thread of, I guess you could say, mystery or intrigue. But it was presented quite boring and just so straightforward. It's like, oh, this is an action hero line right here. A mutual acquaintance wants you alive. Like, you know, at least have some fucking class. You know, I think I came up with some line. I don't remember if it was actually me coming up with it or some other line, but you know, I thought of a line like, what would an action hero say? Or what would an enemy of an action hero say if he walked in and was about to, like, execute him or something? Like, what would be a good one-liner that would actually have some character to it, that wouldn't be so boring? And what I came up with was, the coroner wanted to see ya. And that, to me, is pretty funny. I mean, again, maybe I didn't actually come up with it. I'm just repeating it. I honestly don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I came up with it. So when I'm exposed as a fraud later, you can point to this video. The point I'm making there is not just, you know, again, licking my own cock, like I said in the last video, but I guess that was the last Protoss video, actually, 2 videos ago. But really, I wanted to underscore the fact that if you're going to have these action hero lines, these one-liners, these lines that are meant to be epic, you really can't be retreading everything else. Mutual acquaintance, maybe not in that exact phrasing, was used several times up until this point, right? And, you know, Icor actually mentioned today that if you look at the pre-Brood War stat.txt file that lists all the names of weapons and units and stuff, there's like Greedo and Bosk are in the game files as like cut beta units that they were just like placeholdering and stuff. So clearly they were influenced by media of the time and media further back of the developers' own childhoods. And then in that case, it's Star Wars. And in the case I'm talking about, I don't know what the fuck it is from, like, could be Blade Runner, I don't know. But whatever the case is, like, we're talking about a situation where Blizzard is essentially coming across as incredibly derivative through one-liners, which are not that difficult, in my opinion, to come up with, like, compelling ones that tick boxes for the character and that feel like they belong in the setting and don't completely take you out of it. Those one-liners, those action lines that Raynor had at the end of the previous video and at the end of the previous mission ultimately feel super out of place, and so does the whole thing. Like, the whole idea that we would have to unite against a greater evil or whatever, and so we've got to have Zerg and Protoss and Terran, as you'll see in the Zerg campaign, is just so played out by this point. Like, especially by this point in, like, literally 2020, but I'm talking about 1998 even. It's like the least interesting route that you could have taken the setting, and that's like obviously right after humanizing the Zerg with Kerrigan, so they clearly have shown a propensity, Blizzard writers in general, assuming they were at least in part responsible for the travesty we see before us, they have shown a propensity for least path of least resistance, you know, what is the lowest common denominator type thing that we can put out, you know, the laziest approach we can take to story writing. Now, I'm not really 100% confident in my ability to, you know, completely deconstruct every individual point. I'm sure I'm going to miss a bunch of shit, but really what underscored this for me was the fact that, like, yeah, you have those action hero lines, you got that Raynor line, and it's trying to make you feel mythical about the whole thing in a way, right? It's trying to be bigger than it actually is, right? Trying to raise the stakes. But they don't earn it. They just regurgitate lines. And that's the core issue that I have with the whole ordeal. I look at it and think, wow, what a hunk of junk. You know, they're clearly trying to make me feel like this is more epic than it actually is. I just don't get why they would do it that way. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I look at it and I think that this thing is just a giant mess of discontinuity, like errors all over the place, right? So disconnected shit that doesn't really provide a whole story, and instead feeds us segments of stuff that contradicts itself and counteracts itself, plot holes and character inconsistencies, and like, why are people confused about stuff? I mean, really, it's very similar to some of this Wings of Liberty shit that you would see if you watched my playthrough of that. And people have already started asking me to continue the playthrough of this into Wings of Liberty. Man, what a miserable experience that may end up being if I decide to do it. But I got to tell you, I'm not looking forward to that idea. I don't put a lot of stock in that idea. I think I've played Wings of Liberty enough. Notably, it is the only one that I have not played more than once on the channel. But still, why? I mean, come on, you guys. All right, let's cut to the chase here and destroy Raynor's command center. But first, we have to watch a million mutas charge forward.
Valkyrie prepared.
So, humorously enough, they actually had to use an AI script command called set random seed, which controls behavior of any random elements. For example, critters. Yeah, I mean, this is just absurd. I actually lost a tank because they were too incompetent to patrol the whole way through. But yeah, like I was saying, they use set random seed, and it controls random behavior like the Valkyrie's spread. And what I find particularly irritating about that is that it's in service to a fucking scripted sequence. Like, how could you possibly have it be any easier for you? I am gonna need a ton of depots. Alright, we'll just go ahead and scout the Zerg here. We really don't need the Valkyries. It's not even like they account for much.
Your forces are under attack.
It's showtime.
Yeah, I cannot do the move, man. I don't know how to do it. Oh my goodness. 3 depots wasn't even enough. What a mess. I already have siege mode. You know, Brood War is the start of ship just being researched for you too. I feel like maybe that happened at some point in vanilla, but I can't remember that ever happening. Yeah, I need my supply destroyed. I'm not talking about my depots either. I'm talking about you. Okay? Executed to BH. Oh, oh.
Don't keep me waiting.
Hey.
It's showtime. Of course, my dear.
I'm not even really sure why they felt the need to do it. Make a unit that deals explosive damage in an AoE.
Of course, my dear.
I mean, the Corsair is the same way. Like, the only reason why it works against mutas is because the splash is so fucking... The inner splash is so high.
Keep me waiting.
Orders, Captain? Affirmative.
Your forces are under attack.
Okay. I thought for a second we had Oh, wait, we do. We have an inaccessible mineral field right there. Alright, cool. So obviously, once again, killing a fucking command center. That's pretty embarrassing. I am fully aware. I was thinking I would go tanks again, but given my current level of discomfort, I may decide to just speedrun this one too through Wraith. But I don't know.
The warp gate at the center of the Protoss encampment has been activated. Our sensors show that the gate's energies are inciting the Zerg to attack. Be prepared for anything, Captain.
Now the warp gate is invincible, so it doesn't really matter.
SCV good to go, sir.
Like that warp gate comes into big, it comes into play in the future. It doesn't actually serve as like something that accomplishes anything, but it's just for a cutscene. I just find it so embarrassing that they couldn't be fucked to
Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Roger that.
make the warp gate provide some sort of gameplay purpose. Like, it could be a tier 4 production structure for Hydra, actually, but I mean, they could something could have been done to make it slightly more impactful than just a set piece. Also, I wanted to point out that starting us off supply blocked is like exactly what made the Warcraft 2 expansion pack missions so intolerable, because it's literally starting you off in a cancerous disadvantage. It's the opposite of starting off the AI with a million stuff, because it starts you off at a like they have inalienable advantages and you have inalienable disadvantages. The whole thing is just a giant prank. Like these inaccessible mineral fields that are destroying my mineral efficiency. But we'll slowly climb up there with our upgrades. I'll go ahead and drop a science facility with my next 100 minerals. Appears to be here. And we'll go from there, I guess. I'll probably stop producing SCVs after that one just because Oh wait, I guess it is technically accessible. I thought for sure that this was going to be an inaccessible cliff. In fact, he even has to do a little dance over there in order to make it work. Oh, never mind. I guess I'll keep producing SCVs then. My faith has been restored in the galaxy. Which means I'm going to need depots a little sooner. So yeah, I think we'll just go tanks. Don't feel like microing well enough to do tank Goliath, so we'll just do, tank Vulture, so we'll do tank Goliath instead. I do think it's really weird that, generally speaking, the game doesn't really offer you much in the way of
Upgrade complete. Not enough minerals.
Ready to roll out. Moving.
Like, an avenue for using multiple strategies. Like, I can cheese stuff by using pretty much anything to drop over here and destroy this. But if I wanted to really play the mission in a meaningful manner, I mean, for one, there's no meaningful content, so it's kind of hard to do that. But especially due to the fact that the,
Job reported for duty. Affirmative. SCV good to go, sir.
due to the fact that it's Protoss and they build a million Dragoons, like, good luck making infantry work. Hey, look, they're doing what I had done to me. They are suffering in the same way.
Right away, sir.
Pretty epic.
Enough minerals.
I guess we'll be investing into some Goliaths next, because we do have to clear the scouts that they probably retrained over there.
SCV good to go, sir. Orders, sir.
So yeah. You know, Eidolon in the Discord server was talking about siege tanks and how the whole experience of using them trivializes the AI. And I agree, but I mean, the whole reason why is because they bypass all of the grind, right? All that anti-content that you otherwise have to suffer through.
Orders, Captain. Yes, sir. I read you.
Oh, hi. I guess I forgot to order you around. It's fine if we wall that off.
Right away, sir.
Goliath online.
Orders received.
Go ahead, TACOM. Systems functional.
Probably a couple more SCVs and we'll do.
Give me something to shoot.
Now, did they only give me 7 Marines?
Greetings.
I wonder why.
Affirmative, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Affirmative.
Could it be because they don't know what the fuck they're doing? Could that have been an error?
Identify target destination.
Upgrade complete.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
okay. My 3 key wasn't working. I got very perplexed. So what other key would it be?
Affirmative.
If not 3.
Roger that. Affirmative. Good to go.
Alright.
Destination.
Now, I think it's kind of interesting that bunkers generally are not super dominant outside of the first few minutes of the game in a TVP matchup in Melee, for example, but we're stuck here fucking building them because it's the easiest way to deal with an opponent that only sends like a small number of attack forces. On occasion.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Oh boy. Know what that means. Oh, I guess they didn't bother doing anything with this one. Executed. Stargate right in the middle of fucking nowhere, man. Holy shit, suddenly all of the different things that I did as a wee lad makes so much more sense. You know?
Upgrade insufficient Vespene gas.
Trying to zealot bomb me, SMH.
Your forces are under
Hey.
attack.
No damaging my units, asshole. I don't know about this one, man.
Outline complete.
Orders received.
Utterly devastated.
Base is under attack.
Fuck off, man. That's my control tower that I didn't need. Oh boy, here we go. Alright, fuck this, dude.
Job finished.
I'm lifting off and landing over here.
For duty. Orders received. Yes, sir.
Anyway, camera hockey!
Yes, sir.
All the Canadians are like, ice hockey.
Job finished.
Oh yeah?
Captain.
It's you, actually.
Comlink online.
Orders received.
Oh yeah, I was in the middle of making a point about how tanks simplify the grind. I guess I kind of finished it, but just in the interest of sounding like I actually had more to say, when in reality I'm grasping for straws here.
Can't build it. Something's getting in the
Well, fuck that guy, dude. Just drill him in the ass.
SCV. Good job.
Jesus Christ. How dare he get in your way? Probably the funniest and only funny Crystalia bit ever is when he said that he would rip a man's finger off if he ever got fingered in the ass. And it's funny because he thought of it. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and drop some shit over here.
Orders, Captain. Right away, sir.
And rally some men over here.
Reporting for duty. Orders
Hey, what's going on?
Reporting for duty.
Not enough minerals.
You get back over there right now.
Not received. Affirmative.
Goliath online.
Right away, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Identify target. Proceeding.
Comlink online.
Your forces are under attack.
Oh yeah, they have a random fucking gateway over here for no reason. So I guess I didn't really have anything else to say about that point, but you know.
Yes, sir. Delighted to serve. Orders, sir.
Utterly devastated. Why do they have this shit over here? There's a geyser you could take if you wanted to gas yourself, I guess.
I read you. Right away, sir.
Orders, sir.
I read you. Orders received. boy.
Destroyed. Wait, did I didn't even order it SMH? It's kind of like a melee game, having a 3-2 timing against a tier 1 upgrade Protoss. It's pretty similar to a melee game, to be honest. What's up, motherfucker? Well, anytime you fucking ensnared idiots want to climb up here and start shooting at these scouts.
Your forces are under attack.
Identify target. Destination. Delighted to serve.
Destroyed. Oh yeah, this guy got plagued. Like, look at all this shit. Oh fuck, get in the bunker. Don't die, man.
Your forces are under attack.
Nice hotkeys, idiot. Hey. I can't believe I lost a tank on this thing. Well, I guess I lost a tank at the beginning of the game anyway, technically. Even though it was really my retard cutscene controller that lost the game for me. Look at 3 Stargates and a fleet beacon. None of them blinking. Classic. Okay, bye. Don't worry. Your crib ain't under attack or anything. Alright, we clearly need more Goliaths. We don't really, but, you know. Feeling a little too white over here, and the Goliath is definitely a little bit darker visually, so gotta be diverse where possible. Nice cannons, by the way. If I was a big brain and I wanted to illustrate more insanity behind the cutscene nature of this campaign and the Brood War in general, I would have done a little bit of a trick here where I would have actually spammed Valkyries for the express purpose of
Forces are under attack.
pranking the ending pseudo cutscene there towards the end. Dude, why do they not have Storm? What is wrong with them? Why are none of their buildings blinking? I mean, I know the gateway's not blinking because somebody
Your forces
Had
are
a-
under attack.
had a bit of a tism fit once upon a time and didn't bother making the gateway blink in the first place. So, bitch. And yeah, in case you couldn't figure it out, the AI has... So there is no AI running for Yellow. He's just a fucking clown emoji. Hi.
Good work, Captain. The
Nice
command
tick
center
swirl,
is
Jesus.
but it looks like Mengsk and Raynor will try to escape through the warp gate. Make ready to move in and intercept their vessel before... Wait, I've just picked up multiple Zerg signals coming in from the northeast. That's Terran's position, but he seems to have moved his forces out of place. Lieutenant Terran, this is Stukov. Come in. I'm tracking a massive Zerg swarm in your quadrant. Respond, damn it!
That is strange, Vice Admiral. My scanners don't show any Zerg at all. Maybe you have a technical problem with your equipment.
Lieutenant, if these Zerg get through, we'll never be able to capture Mengsk. I'm giving you a direct order to return to your position and reinforce my troops.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but it seems your signal's fading out. I couldn't make out that last part. I'll try to re-establish contact later.
Terran! Captain, your position will be overrun by superior Zerg numbers within 15 minutes. I suggest you retreat back to the fleet immediately. Inform Admiral Ducal that I have a personal matter to take care of.
Base is under attack.
So yeah, here are all the Zerg, the mutas, the unupgraded mutas that even my Goliaths could probably execute, to be honest.
Your forces are under attack.
Wow, nice animation there. Also, recall that at the first Protoss mission, right? They were supposed to be powering down the last warp gate on Ire. The first Protoss mission in the Brood War campaign. And this one is in an entirely different place. Might even be a different last warp gate. And they kill it to evacuate Mengsk and Raynor. Why? Like, if that's not a massive fucking error in my brain, I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of errors in my brain, and that seems to be a big one. Just saying. La la la. Hey, at least we only have 2 missions after this because we did most of the work earlier, so. Let's check out this, what the fuck? What kind of shit is this? Hold on. Oh, I guess my displays got a little confused there. Sorry about that infinite regress. Hope it didn't break your brain. I'll fix that after this error message. That is this editor review. So yeah, here we go. We got the Valkyries that are pre-placed. Nice random start location. Oops. Oh, nice random start location. It's a DK start location for a DK geyser. And of course it's Town 3. Why wouldn't it be? Oh. Dude, what the fuck? What is wrong with these people? I mean, everything else seems to be... Never mind. Wow. Well, I guess that is technically fine. Neither of these two are bound to anything. So... It's just very strange. Playing with fire over there. I can't believe that one either. I can't believe that they didn't even know about start locations creating res areas. And that they didn't have a debug tool like what we have to check town locations. Ridiculous. Anyhow, 1 million pre-placed units for everything as per usual. Imagining that this AI didn't even have an extractor and built the Spire and all of these Mutalisks and Zerglings. Don't even have a spawning pool, as a matter of fact. So where did the Zerglings come from? Don't have a lair for their Spire. Like, why? Like, the whole point of this is just to, like, waste your time a little bit at the beginning and actually have the cutscene, but they wanted to put it up there away from where it should have been placed because creep. Like, instead of it being a Protoss encampment, right? They did an interesting idea. I mean, not really interesting. They did the right idea where they demonstrated some part of the new unit, right? The problem is that it involves pre-placing a bunch of them for you and then not giving you any supply. It's like whoever made this didn't really play the game. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm also in the Hydra tile set. I guess I should change that over. Sorry, today's episode is a little fucked, man. A little scuffed. Sorry about that. So, yeah. I really don't get why this is like that. It really doesn't make any sense. So, I didn't interact with any of the Zerg at all beyond defending them on occasion. Not really that big of a deal. Defending from them, I should say. And, yeah. I mean, kind of stupid that the command center is owned by a player and the Terrans don't help themselves out at all. Now, I've actually conceptualized a Nemesis version of this map where you'd have the players playing as Raynor, Phoenix, I guess, would be the Protoss leader, and maybe like another Protoss player for the sake of having 3 players, because Nemesis is usually 3, because 3. And the UED would be the main enemy force, and they would be like taking over the renegade broods if you left them alive or whatever. So while at first they would help you out a little bit by it being a free-for-all, eventually they would turn on you if you didn't pacify them quickly enough, or obviously just defeat the UED themselves. And I thought that was an interesting approach to it, just because it offers you more ways to use your enemies. In this map, by comparison, your enemies aren't really that useful. The Blizzard had no way to specifically dictate that the AI attack a certain player, so I think they just built in randomness to the attack ad checker that made it target, or attack prep checker, I guess, that made it target a different player than last time or something if there were multiple enemies. Of course, we don't see a lot of that in most of the campaigns, because I think this is actually the first free-for-all map in the entire campaign. In terms of a macro map where there's sizable enemies, at least. I honestly don't recall for sure, but also the fact that there's no ramp over here is sinful. Map design 101. At least we're getting to the point where there are more expansions on the map, but you still got fucking decay geysers, you still got, like, borderline inaccessible mineral fields. Like this one's inaccessible over here, for example. I guess this one is too. So yeah, like at least it's for the player. I mean, at least it's for the AI. But again, you want to conceptualize AI as no different than players when it comes to building their base, at least. Like obviously you conceptualize them differently based on the fact that they run a preset script and they're pretty much linear in that sense, but you don't want to give them significantly distinct starting stuff. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the whole thing is just kind of a farce, you know what I mean? Anyway, been thinking about how to approach talking about this mission in any further depth, and I just feel like it's more of the same. The pre-placed brigades imply scale, just like the... Well, I guess they overstate. They deliberately like state, here's the scale, but it's not earned, just like those action hero lines aren't earned, if that makes any sense. It's a nice corollary, I think, and quite an unfortunate one at that. Nobody really seems to have any personality either. Like, I guess these Zerg used mutas more than some of the other AIs, but like I can't tell what the AI is even trying to do, because it doesn't seem like they're trying to do anything. Some of the only significant attacks we even witnessed were like the Zerg attacking the Protoss stuff over here, and the only reason we saw that was because of a map revealer, not because we like scouted out a battle between them and, you know, got a little bit more immersed as a result of observing something that we didn't necessarily have to observe, right? Whereas you can't help but look at your mini-map once in a while, you know, once in a gay moon. Well, that's pretty much how this one will end, I think. So let's get on to it. Or on with it. Fuck. Moving on. Patriot's Blood, flagship. Alexander, holding perimeter orbit over the planet Braxis.
fugitives Minsk and Raynor escaped through the warp gate due to the intervention of the Zerg. But shortly before our forces were overrun, Vice Admiral Stukov took control of a large contingent of troops and came here to the planet Braxis.
Why would he abandon the battle on Aiur? Why has he come back to Braxis?
I mean no offense, Admiral, but perhaps Stukov's loyalties are not as strong as you once believed.
Because you are young and foolish, Lieutenant, I will pardon that insult. Alexei and I have been friends since long before you were born. However, he must be found. If Stukov is here, he will account for his actions.
Admiral, our sensors have detected a fully functional psi disruptor on the planet's surface directly below our position. It would appear that the Vice Admiral did not destroy the psi disruptor on Tarsonis as was ordered.
What? Impossible.
I warned you, Admiral. Stukov has betrayed you. He's reconstructed the psi disruptor in order to sabotage your mission in this sector.
I can't believe it. Yet, the evidence is incontrovertible. Alexei, what have you done? Perhaps you've been right all along, Lieutenant. On my authority, enter the psi disruptor and deal with the Vice Admiral appropriately.
Of course, Admiral.
Duran doing an excellent job being subtle with his dialogue and voice acting. The voice coach for Brood War really nailed the idea that Duran was supposed to be manipulative, but, you know, very subtle, but very intelligent, definitely not fucking brain dead, hitting you over the head with all of the shit that comes out of the Blizzard exec's mouth. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, obviously, at the end of the previous mission, he was really on the nose and just laughable. Again, you can't make this shit up. You can't just pop it out of the ether and expect it to be reasonably impactful. If what you're going for is a twist or a revelation of some sort, you got to earn it. Now, here's all the ways that they didn't earn this one. Stukov said straight to Gerard's face, straight to Dugall's head. His fucking somebody squished his head with two frying pans on either side of his ears, and that's why it's so long. So he said to this frying pan man, "Hey, this psi disruptor could be useful. Why would we destroy it?" And Dugall's response is, "Fuck off, dude. All right, Duran, go destroy it." And, you know, the first red flag is, you know, Stukov having such an immediate change of heart that and being so invested in his change of heart that he takes control of the operation immediately after Duran would, you know, presumably solve it. And Dugall obviously is not informed of this or just doesn't give a fuck and just assumes that Stukov did the right thing. And it never comes up again. I don't know how the fuck you hide Stukov's forces, his covert operations squad. Like, how does Stukov hide that from Dugall? Like, what fucked up military structure do they have where somebody does not get informed of this shit and pass it up the chain of command to Dugall, and Dugall takes a look at it? Like, I know he's probably got a lot of emails to sift through, but come the fuck on. It's just ridiculous at this point. And on top of it all, they don't earn it because once you find out that the psi disruptor is still intact, and Stukov went back to Braxis with the psi disruptor, like having been set up or whatever. Okay, you go back there and you find this out. Well, what's the most logical thing, the logical reasoning behind it? Well, Stukov, having seen the destructive power of the Zerg, as Dugall wanted him to in the opening cutscene for that matter, has decided that the psi disruptor is essential and must be maintained, must be kept alive and intact. And said as much in the briefing to the third mission where we actually went there with the intent of blowing it up. And on top of it all, Dugall then goes, well, he must be betraying me. He must be trying to sabotage our mission. What? Why? Why would you think that? Like, that is just insane. That is patently absurd. There's so many more obvious, like, Occam's razor type solutions to this. Like, what he fucking said to you about the disruptor potentially being useful for their mission. It's just, Like, it's so obvious. And they, again, if, you know, the dialogue is not voiced terribly. I mean, Duran's is, but Duran's kind of mysterious or whatever, and most people think he's epic with a K. So they kind of pull the wool over their eyes in that sense, right? You got to kind of get blindsided by it. And they play it somewhat straight, right? They go straight to this assumption. So if you're not paying attention, you might just be surprised by just how absurd this actually is when you start to unravel it and you start to take a critical eye to it. And so since they play it straight, you might think, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's what happened. But what the fuck? Like, at this point, DeGaule's just offering himself up as a lobotomized retard. Like, who the fuck would come to that conclusion when the opposite conclusion that still fits within Stukov being loyal to the Directorate and in some abstract way to DeGaule's cause, despite disobeying a direct order? Like, there's a way where you can see nuance in his position in theory. And they just brush right past it because they want to force a certain narrative and they want to force a certain twist. And they want it to be a heartbreaking, epic with a K moment. This filmic critique of, the French involvement in World War II or whatever the fuck they were going for with de Gaulle ordering a black man to kill a Russian. Communism doesn't work, okay? God. Anyway, find and kill Admiral Stukov. Capitalism must survive. How embarrassing.
Unauthorized entry detected.
Yes, Captain.
Medic.
I'm here.
How embarrassing. They didn't even create unit with properties. You know what that means, boys? We don't have fucking energy.
Access code denied.
Of course.
I hate computers.
Right away.
Well,
You got
it's a different guy now.
Take care of it.
That's okay.
Right away.
He didn't have a very bright life ahead of him. He's probably gonna get chewed up by a zergling or something. Sup, bitch?
Right away.
Where's Stukov? Don't tell those traitors anything, Harry. Wax 'em, boys. Help!
I'll take care of it. You got it.
Again, a movie scene. Just like that movie scene of the last mission.
Of course. I'll take care of it. You got it.
Like, why? Why do they have a fucking micro mission movie scene? Like, that's all this is.
Got it.
Somebody's movie scene, dude.
You got it. Of course. You got it. Of course.
Yeah, I would walk into that facility too.
Another computer. Says hit any key. Well, which one's the any key?
Security cameras activated. Goliath repair bay located in Sector 4.
If we can get over there, we might be able to hijack those Goliaths.
Right away.
Ahmed!
You got it.
Dude, why would Ahmed say need a light, dude?
I'll take care of it.
Why, Ahmed?
Right away. You got it. Of course.
Hey, at least I haven't seen any TISM doors.
Of course. You got it. Of course.
That's Chox's favorite.
I'll take care of it.
Where am I going? I feel like I missed a whole area, but maybe I've accidentally gone the linear direction they wanted me to go.
A testament to how well designed Blizzard's micro maps are. You just accidentally complete them without any effort.
You got it.
Access code denied.
Here's another movie scene.
Hey, who's messing with the computers? Oh, give me the damn access codes before I blow an aggression inhibitor. I ain't telling you nothing. Wait, I'll tell you. It's, Farnham.
Access code accepted.
Thanks. Oops.
Security cameras activated.
This is embarrassing.
Vice Admiral Stukov detected in Sector 8.
At least they had the decency to give him the portrait. No unit responses, though. Just a portrait.
Hey, boys. We could sure use those Goliaths. Get over there and commandeer them. Intruders! Alert the Goliath pilot!
You got it. I'll take care of it.
Jacked up and good to go. Let's move.
Fuck him up.
Outstanding.
Where does it hurt?
What do you need?
Give me somebody to shoot. Outstanding.
Yes, Captain.
Wow, nice fucking telepathic lighting up. Hello? They don't even have an escort, dude.
Standing by. Go, go, go.
Oh, so this is very well triggered.
Go, go, go. Let's move. Rock and roll.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Jacked up and good to go.
Comlink online. Confirmed.
What do you need? Of course.
Comlink online. Go ahead, TACOM.
How can I be of
What a mess.
Online. Target designated.
Movie scenes.
How can I be of service? I'll take care of it. Of course. Right away. You got it. Of course.
Movie scene.
Hey, you. Get over here with that SCV and repair our Goliaths. Don't shoot. I'll do it.
What do you need? Of course. I'll take care of it. You got it. Right away.
Executed, to be honest.
Right away.
Hi.
You got it. I'll take care of it. Right away.
They also, at the very least, make it so that you have a finite amount of resources. Talk about inconsistencies. You know for a fact one of the developers is probably like, let's just reduce the cost to nothing.
I'll take care of it.
Hey,
You got it.
can't do that to me.
Right away. You got it. Right away. I'll take care of it.
Fire it up.
No, Vorgaz, no!
You got it. Right away.
Oh,
You got it. Of course.
I'm amazed they didn't make us cast Restore.
Channel open.
Here we go, boys. The show you've all been waiting for.
Acknowledged, HQ. Go ahead, TACOM. Acknowledged, HQ.
At least it's marginally easier than fucking Archons. I don't know why, though.
Here. Of course.
It'd just be me being dumb.
Comlink online.
Yes, Captain.
Hey, don't say yes to that. Fuck you, Duran.
Got it. Of course. Right away.
Also, talk about the fact that this entire campaign has been fighting or chasing the Dominion, basically, up until this point. I just think it's really funny that we charge right into the next zone shortly thereafter.
Channel open.
I'm here.
Comlink online.
Yes, Captain.
Systems functional.
Jacked up and good to go.
Target designated.
What do you
We'll
need?
need Terran to open this door.
What's up, motherfucker?
Vice Admiral Stukov. I am here under orders to terminate your command.
Lieutenant Terran, I'm not surprised. We both know exactly what it is that you're here to terminate. Get on with it.
Say goodnight, Stukov.
To hell with you.
Lieutenant Duran, report your situation immediately.
Gerard, old friend,
Holy text.
you do indeed have a traitor in your midst. But it's not me. Terran. He has been playing us both from the start. He convinced you to destroy the side disruptor, even though it was our best chance at defeating the Zerg. And then on Ire, he allowed the Zerg to overrun us even as we had the fugitives in our grasp. I came here to activate the one hope we have of defeating them. And you killed me for it. Duran is your enemy, Gerard. I suspect that he may even be infested as well. Use the disruptor, Gerard. Finish our operation. Let my death have at least some meaning.
Alexei! Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Computer, where the hell is Lieutenant Duran?
The lieutenant no longer registers on my sensors, Admiral. He appears to have vanished.
No.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Pranked.
Sir, the disruptor's power core has just been set to overload. In order to prevent meltdown, you will need to reach the manual override terminal and shut the reactor core down.
It must have been Joran. You men serve the Vice Admiral loyally. I ask that you continue to serve his memory by keeping this disruptor in one piece. Now get going and find that override terminal.
Hey, open the door, asshole.
Channel open. Commander, go ahead.
Where does it hurt?
Give me some issue.
Medical attention?
Security cameras activated.
Are you ready for more movie scenes? And again, that is a movie scene.
Outer installation walls had been breached, tracking multiple Zerg signals throughout the side disruptor's interior.
What the hell? How did Zerg get in here?
Zerg here.
Captain, we may have a huge infestation problem.
This proves that Joran's working with the Zerg. Captain, don't let a single Zerg stand in your way. We need this disruptor now, more than ever.
Listen, the only thing standing in my way is these ramps. Really ramping it up. Oh no, spawn units in right in front of me, deadpan! Ah!
State the nature of your medical
Oh no, guys!
Need medical attention?
Oh no! Catch up, army!
Did someone page me?
Hi. Oh, fuck. I didn't want to go get Ahmed. Jesus Christ, that's not the way I went over there. I thought I was going the right way. Aw, man, my units can't even path out of the fucking door. Dude, what is wrong with you guys?
Target designated. Yes. Go ahead.
I'm scared of the fog of war.
Security cameras activated.
Oh, man. How the hell are we gonna get by all them Zerglings?
Dude, we got Ahmed. It's fine.
Go ahead and fire now, Commander. Let's move.
Your forces are under attack.
State the nature of your medical emergency.
Fire now, Commander. Give me something to shoot. Yes. Check that out. They're trapped. Give me something to shoot.
Your forces are under attack.
Outstanding. Jacked up and good to go.
Help.
Need medical attention.
Outstanding. Go ahead. Got my attention.
Well, that was pretty stupid.
Go ahead. Yes.
Oh, Ahmed! Oh. Can't believe they killed my Ahmed. Oh, nice trap, dude.
Sir, it looks like this corridor has been lined with defensive autoguns. If we can lure the Zerg in here, they'll be cut to shreds.
Where does it hurt?
What's up, bitch? And again, why would the corridor be lined with autoguns? Why? Could it be something to do with a movie scene? Movies! I love movies, especially when I get to right-click in them.
I love the smell of toasted Zerglings in the morning.
Capital H, by the way. I mean, this is pretty much identical criticism to what I have in, like, some of the longer cutscenes, right? It's just shit that's not even earned. Play some quotes, spawn some men, kill some women, and Ahmed? Well, you can't really kill Ahmed, but you know.
Where does it hurt?
Dude, what? You can kill this pathing, though. Holy fuck.
Where does it hurt? Did someone page me? State the nature of your medical emergency.
Pretty much utterly devastated, of course. A very skillful move on my behalf of quickly adapting to stim all of those men that had no health. I think we get plagued here. I have a distinct memory of that anyway. Just more fucking units spawning in from elsewhere. Get him, SCV. fuck are we going? You know what this gives me flashbacks to is Echoes, that custom campaign that took place mostly inside a fucking installation.
Medical emergency. State the nature of your medical emergency. Need medical attention?
Trying to medic, but it's taking some time. I also like how the Defiler then just fucks off anyway. It's like, okay. I don't know whose idea it was to reveal units that were borrowed. This is just embarrassing. It's like, way to make the Zerg seem really stupid. If these Zerg are supposed to be being controlled by Terran as well, like, what the fuck, man? What an idiot. How embarrassing. Didn't lose a single man. And again, like, okay, why do we need to... Why? Why do we need to do a manual override in the first place? Somebody just decided it would be cool to have an action scene. It's like, people remember this mission fondly, but it's just shit.
Shutdown sequence initiated.
Good work, Captain. I want the side disruptor kept on full power around the clock. I'll leave a garrison here to protect it as well. Prepare the fleet to move out. We are going to the planet Char to claim that cursed overmind. And may heaven help Duran for what he has done this day.
Nice map revealer, by the way. Well, thankfully for my fucking misery, I don't have to look at that mission in the editor because it's a fucking micro map. And you think I'd like micro maps because my crow, but it's actually the simulation giving me the middle finger.
To chain the beast. UED flagship Alexander, low orbit over planet N.
Captain, with the Psi Disruptor's signal hampering the Zerg's communications to one another, the swarms over Char have scattered in disarray, allowing the fleet to penetrate to the planet's surface. However, there is still a considerable number of defenders nestled around the fledgling Overmind.
Alexei was right. The disruptor is the key to victory here. If I had destroyed the machine as Duran suggested, we would never have made it this far. Nevertheless, the time is upon us, Captain, to do what we came here for. We will claim the Overmind in the name of humanity.
Be advised, Captain. Our sensors have identified three Cerebrates who constitute the core of the Overmind's defenses. Each Cerebrate's distinct capabilities are still unknown, so proceed with extreme caution.
Launch your forces, and let not a Zerg survive. Once you have reached the Overmind and crushed its defenders, you are to send in specially trained medics who will pacify the creature with potent neurostim drugs. Only then will our victory be assured. And Captain, remember that Duran is still out there somewhere. I'd venture a guess that his treachery has only just begun. Be careful, and good luck. I am sure that this will be our finest hour.
Dude, De Gaulle's feeling pretty good after executing his friend and potentially gay boy lover this entire time. You know, he's happy, dude. He's like, all right, let's go, baby. Because nobody knows what the fuck tone or theme is, and they don't know what to do. So they just write action lines like, this will be our finest hour. How embarrassing, dude. What misery. Take the red pill, man. Wake up from this nightmare. Except there is no waking up. It's just, it's threes all the way down. Oh yeah, and the other thing that I wanted to mention there is, of course, he has to exposition us Neurostim, and of course the Adjutant has to exposition us 3. It's like, why? Why was this the last mission with no fucking setup? This is supposed to be our mission the entire time, to take the Overmind under our control. That's even what the briefing was all about, too, is like, we're gonna control these motherfuckers. We should see what they do. I mean, the briefing, the opening cutscene to the entirety of Brood War was the UAD observing Zerg activity firsthand. And seeing what the destructive power that they have. So that's their goal. And yet the entirety of the Zerg campaign... okay, maybe the entirety of the Terran campaign should be culminating in this move. But why the fuck is it this the only mission where we progress towards this? Why did we spend the entire campaign fucking with Mengsk and chasing him around the place instead of like maybe crippling his army, driving him into hiding, as we did, and then like moving on to fight the Zerg? Like, why was the arc so disjointed, just bouncing all over the place for no reason? Bring a medic to each of the beacons surrounding the Overmind. Kill Zerg Cerebrits to weaken the Overmind's defenses.
Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain?
Base is under attack.
Sir, these sunken colonies aren't being affected by anything we hit them with. I'll bet there's one of those Cerebrit critters pumping up full of energy nearby.
Well, I don't want to have to deal with that, so... That notification constantly. Oh yeah. I've got to manually order my man. Oh, man. If only I could make a GIF the fucking thumbnail. Just be spinning. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need about 10 million tanks as well. But they gave us a ton of money, which I'm not really super happy about per se, but... We just need a fuck ton of front-loaded damage, and then we'll be good to go. Because of course they have to spawn Torasks at us. And we could pretty much just kill the red Cerebro with air units, I think. I mean, not that we can do anything else, considering they have surrounded our base with invulnerable sunken colonies, because nice gimmick. Because we need more gimmicks. Don't you understand? We don't have enough gimmicks, okay? We need more. I need to have just cutscenes, movie scenes for everything in the story. I need all important all important events in the story. I need it all to come from a cutscene instead of me, the player, interacting with the game in any capacity. Okay? That's what I need. I need to renew my World of Warcraft subscription. Can you help me renew my World of Warcraft subscription? Oh yeah, we have medics. Of course, the first attack. 3. Oh, they start out with 1-1 too. Nice. I don't think I really need the missile turret per se, actually, so I'll just let it burn, to be honest. Final mission of the UED campaign, and you get 3'd. With invincible sunken colonies and everything. Alright, I really should be pumping out tanks now. I don't know, remember when the fucker comes and kisses me to death. Oh, you fucker. Mongols, man. Mongols. And of course I'm talking about the developers when I say Mongols. So I'm gonna need another gas before I can do anything, considering my low-ass gas income. I'm also going to need to drop another armory fairly shortly. But yeah, as long as I have 100 gas, I should be dumping my mineral account into more tanks. If that's reasonable.
Base is under attack.
Did someone page me?
Not enough minerals.
Where does it hurt?
Oh, okay, bye.
Good to go, sir. Orders received. I read you. Give me some of this shit. Good to go, sir. Roger that.
I guess they were going to attack over here. I don't actually know what they're doing. Yeah, they are over there.
Your forces are under attack.
Dude, wow,
Right away, sir. Roger that. Orders received.
that was a pretty impressive spin that I did. Let's be real here.
Orders, Captain. SCV good to go, sir. Right away, sir.
All right, we're spending our minerals quite well here.
Orders, sir.
Should be enough tanks to deal with the first Tarrasque.
Orders received.
I guess they do announce it too. They give you a
Reporting for duty.
cringe transmission.
Reporting for duty. Can I read you?
Can't build on shale and vanilla, by the way.
Ready to roll out. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, so I guess we actually do need to like mass battlecruiser at first. Or something. We need to be able to run in there and kill the red Cerebra before we can use any ground forces, so. I didn't quite put that together until just now. I don't know why. But whatever. We secured this base, which is all we should need for the entire mission, honestly. But if we absolutely need to, we can expand again later. And again, I wanted to stress here that there's really not a whole lot going on. I'll drop a bunker down here, though. I am somewhat paranoid about units popping in behind there, and I can just put my 4 Marines over here.
Did someone page me?
Good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Can I read you? Yes, sir. Roger that. Orders received. I can't build there. Roger that. Affirmative. Standing by. SCV good to go, sir. Right away, sir. Orders.
All right. And you can tell they gave up real quick trying to make the mineral fields cute, although they didn't give up making them inaccessible. That's 2. If only it were 3.
SCV good to go, sir.
Ready to roll out.
SCV good to go, sir. Can I read you? Yes, sir. Job finished.
Alright, that's about where I think I
Affirmative.
drop it at this point.
Good to go, sir. Affirmative. Right away, sir.
Base is under attack.
I'm sure it's fine.
Identify target.
Oh.
Forces are under attack.
Maybe I did need those missile turrets after all. Oh, of course, they start out with +1 there as well. Why wouldn't they? What are my med? My medics are healing my SCVs! What is wrong with you people? What a disaster.
Base is under attack.
Affirmative. Job SCV good to go, sir.
Why must this happen to me? Now, on the bright side, question mark? We have a ton of money, so
Add-on complete.
pretty good income, I think.
Insufficient phosphine gas.
Alright, well, fuck you, dude. What do you want me to do about that?
Roger that. Job finished. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Upgrade complete.
Orders, Captain? Orders received. Build it. Something's in the way. Right away, sir. I can't orders received. Something's in the way.
There you go, you figured it out, buddy.
SCV good to go, sir. You want a piece of me, boy? Yes, sir. Orders received.
Alright, we'll grab a couple more battle cruisers here.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Dropping this academy so that I can get comsats and start scanner sweeping my path to my target.
Standing
I'm sure he'll get there eventually.
You want a piece of me, boy? Job finished.
Your forces are under attack.
It's actually taking forever for that first Tarrasque to show up.
Research complete.
Yes, sir? You want a piece of me, right away, sir.
Battle cruiser operational.
Well, we couldn't quite build a third one at the same time, unfortunately. You know how that is.
Add-on complete. Add-on complete.
As you can see, there's pretty much tortured roar. There's pretty much nothing stopping us from getting over here. And I think this is the first time that I'll actually be able to show off mass battlecruisers because I didn't bother with it in any of the vanilla Terran missions. And the only other mission that I could have potentially used it in was the Eye of the Storm mission, which obviously I neglected to bother with. Oh boy. Can't believe he went for this one. I think they start him off at half HP this time around.
Base is under attack.
What a mess. So I was like, wow, I've already done half damage to him, and then I remembered that's a nice gimmick that they give you. The gift that keeps on gimmicking.
Sir, we've just had a whole cargo ship full of whoop-ass dumped on us. We ran into a new strain of Ultralisk, and it took a lot of pepper to bring it down. To top it all off, our recon squad reports that the critter's been reincarnated by a nearby Cerebrid, and it's on its way back for more.
All crews report. Good day.
Your forces are under attack.
Now, thankfully, we've got pretty decent armor here as well. On our battlecruisers, we're already up to 4. We're going to be up to 5 pretty soon. Go ahead and save up my next bit of gas here for upgraded ship weapons, and then we'll saunter on over. Well, that's a pathway we can certainly take. Really not a whole lot of air defense over there for the Tarrasque one. Now, my main concern, of course, is the fact that they could just send him at this side base again, and it would be really disastrous to lose the gas.
Battle cruiser operational. Good day, Commander.
But I suppose even if I do end up losing it, I can always set it back up afterwards. You know, following my forces return. I guess I have a bit of an advance warning, but getting all the way from Red's base, to the side base is certainly going to be challenging, so I guess we'll just go after we kill him this time. Because losing the gas would be so ridiculously devastating. It's not like I can really do anything with Mass Marine anyway, even if I wanted to. My upgrades are certainly not in there for it, so... Let's see where it goes this time. I don't ever remember it actually attacking the side base. I mean, I remember it doing it once in a while, but to do it frequently is pretty interesting. Oh. Hello? Actually, now that I think about it, it probably makes more sense, even though it's going to require more power on my part. It probably makes more sense to just fuck over here. Kill them off. Yeah, thanks.
All crews reporting. Take it slow. Set a course. Make it happen. Set a course. Make it happen.
A single zergling. Sealing my fate.
Base is under attack.
Red's actually got a pretty considerable amount of upgrades. So.
Forces are under attack.
Compared to what AI normally have in this game anyway. Dude, seriously? Unreal.
Set a course. Engage. Set a course.
Hi. Don't mind me.
Good day, Commander. Take it slow. Take it slow.
See how much Scourge do not concern me.
Forces are under attack.
Devourers do though.
Good day, Commander. Take it slow. Engage. Good day, Commander. Set a course.
Upgrade complete.
Frequencies open. Set
I think that got him.
Engage.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Set a course.
Holy shit.
Your forces are under attack.
Engage. Make it slow. Set a course. Receiving transmission. Engage.
Where's my forecastle when I need it?
Frequencies open.
Guess I'll go ahead and...
Good day, Commander.
Sir, we've 86 this Cerebrin. We shouldn't run up against any smacked up Ultralisks anytime soon.
Yeah, as I was about to say, we
Base is under
should be a bit better off here. Orange is pretty much useless. We could just pivot to go kill him now. I don't remember... It said kill the Zerg Cerberus to weaken the defenses, but I don't actually remember if it's necessary.
Crews reporting. Make it happen.
I guess in that sense, maybe it's fine to just start...
Base is under attack.
Oh boy. Hello, get into position, my man.
Your forces are under
Good day,
attack.
Oh,
Commander.
thanks.
Set a course. Take it slow.
Yes, sir. Orders received. Affirmative.
All crews reporting. Take it slow.
I guess they were pretty conscious of you just walking up here and Yamatoing.
Set a course.
Though honestly, it doesn't seem like it would really be that big of a deal. 'Cause I could just...
Forces are under attack.
Receiving transmission.
Nice. Very epic, man.
Receiving transmission.
But yeah, I think at this point it's pretty clear we can just Yamato and then drop the
All crews report.
rest of them. Yamato does 260 damage, I think? I thought it was 250 for the longest time. It's actually 260.
Engage.
Anyway, we could round down and say 250. Cerebrit has 1500, so... Math.
Upgrade complete.
Oh shit! My energy bars just got a lot smaller.
All crews reporting.
But yeah, so so we only need 6 battlecruisers. We've got 6 Yamatos here, so... Assuming every one of them gets in, we should be good.
Can I take your order?
Set a course.
Just need to kill 2 spore colonies and then we're in position, so it can't be that hard, is my thought process anyway.
Set a course. Take it slow.
Oh boy. We did not give ourselves very much maneuvering room here.
Take it slow. Set
Oh,
a course.
that's pretty epic.
Take it slow.
Base is under attack.
Hailing frequencies open.
There we go.
Engage.
Oh, cool.
Good day, Commander. All crews
Alright, well, we'll get ready to go do the same thing to red if necessary.
Input coordinates. Did someone
But I think we might have just won in probably the most anticlimactic, lame way fucking possible. I like how I'm still aggro to the neutral units. It's pretty reasonable. I think they might have help if trouble on, which tells the AI to help each other out if they're under attack. Oh, hi. Yeah, look at this huge pre-placed base too.
Take it slow. Set a course.
Dude, holy Hydra. Again, you're under attack and you're prioritizing burrowed units. Like, you can't make this shit up.
Captain, we breached the perimeter of the Overmind's nesting area. We can launch the mid-team at any time, sir.
I copy that.
Okay, thanks for fucking...
The medics are in place and are administering the neurostim treatments to the Overmind. Excuse me, Admiral, but I'd like to introduce someone to you.
You ran, you son of a bitch. What's the meaning of this?
Admiral de Gaulle, I've heard a lot about you.
What the hell are you?
I am Kerrigan. The Zerg you've killed here, and the Overmind which you've come to collect, are mine. As is our mutual friend, Lieutenant Terran. You see, Admiral, there are a number of groups in this sector who feel that your involvement here causes certain complications. My associates and I intend to make sure that your reign is short-lived.
You may find that difficult, you abomination. Seeing as how I possess the means to disrupt your control of the Zerg.
Ah, you're referring to your vaunted Psi Disruptor. It won't last you forever, Admiral. Sooner or later, I'll destroy it. Then I'll show you what the Zerg are really capable of. Oh, and by the way, Admiral, your friend Stukov was twice the man you are. I'm glad you saved me the trouble of having to kill him.
Movie scenes! Valkyries are hard-coded to not fire when the number of bullets are above 80. There's a limit of 100 bullets in the game. Both of those facts should disgust you. But not as much as what we just witnessed there in that ending. And of course, not as much as what we witnessed in the gameplay itself. So I bet you're wondering, Pronago, what do you think about gay rights? Why would you possibly be possessed with the idea that you should stuff all the start locations in the middle of nowhere? Don't you know how your own game works? Don't you play your own game? Nice fucking pre-placed island of bullshit. Nice immortal sunken colonies. Nice spawning 800 HP, 5, 6, 7, 8 armor, Mongoloid that deals 50 damage per hit. And a nice fucking brain dead AI that was supposed to use infested Terrans, but I didn't see a single infested Terran the entire game because XD, I guess. I don't know. I guess N went on a fucking vacation to Croatia or something. What can you expect, dude? It's all a sham. It's all a scam. It's a mess. This whole map is a mess. Imagine thinking that this is fitting for a released product. We just have all of this shit everywhere. This fan map with 1 million pre-placed men on it, just for the sake of choreographed cutscenes that are actually movies. Man. How embarrassing. Well, I don't really have that much to say about this at this point. This has been full of pain and misery even before I hurt my back, which thankfully is feeling quite better now. I don't know how. I should be feeling worse, but whatever. I guess destroying Blizzard gives me some catharsis, both in mind and in body, in spirit and in physique. I shall overcome. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to deal with Kerrigan, of all people, being the protagonist of the next campaign. So let's just say I was going to joke and say I'm on suicide watch, but not even Kerrigan can bring me down. I know, famous last words. We'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. It's been a real pleasure to see all of the people becoming red-pilled on Starcraft in the last week or so since, well, I guess it's been 2 or 3 weeks now since I've started this series. I definitely think that's some of my strongest commentary to date, and I got some exciting plans coming up after this series is over that I'll probably talk about in some other video entirely. So, stay tuned, keep your eyes peeled, and remember, gay rights. Hey guys, how could I be so stupid? We forgot the fucking cutscene. And
Zerg! The very mention of this terrifying race once brought fear to all who heard it. But now we can all rest easy, as our own forces now occupy their very homeworld of Char. Months have passed since our initial confrontation with the Zerg, and now Directorate forces have taken control of the planet Char, long since rumored to cradle the malevolent overmind of the Zerg. The overmind itself, an enormous living brain-like entity, dictates control over all the myriad Zerg forces, and it was believed to be planning an invasion of the Earth itself. Once on the offensive, our highly trained Directorate forces were more than a match for the beast-like Zerg. Even their fiercest warrior breed could not defeat the greatest military technology in the galaxy. The Zerg forces on Char were completely decimated and their losses were tallied in the millions. But all wars have casualties, and while Directorate losses were minimal, the fleet's Vice Admiral Stukov gave his life during the final valiant assault on Char. Memorial services were held aboard the Directorate flagship Alexander. Vice Admiral Stukov truly knew the meaning of sacrifice.
nice fucking picture.
Yet his sacrifice was not in vain. The Overmind itself was the prize of the battle. Even now, Directorate psychics and powerful drugs are keeping the creature pacified. The Overmind will undergo extensive research to ensure the continued safety of the United Earth Directorate and of all mankind.
And, well, that's the end. Yeah. Well, not to deflate my, quote-unquote ending before, but I gotta tell you, man. Cheesy as fuck. Definitely doesn't take itself very seriously. A direct contrast to the insane experience we had witnessing the dialogue that we had to deal with. And, what can you say? I guess it's just like Blizzard to even make their ending cutscenes of Brood War inconsistent with the experience of playing through their products. I'll have more to say about the Terran campaign, more broadly speaking, in the opening of the next video. So keep your eyes on that, and I'll see ya next time. Gay rights.